Hi, I'm Sam. In this video, we are going to take a look at keyword research specifically for bankruptcy attorneys. Now, the theory and the processes in this will work for any type of keyword research. We're using bankruptcy attorneys as this is part of our bankruptcy attorney SEO series. So getting started here, things to think about. Know your clients before you start. Who are your clients? One, in the case of bankruptcy attorneys, we're going to be looking at typically individuals or small business owners. So chapter 7 or 13 bankruptcy, chapter 11, that's who we're looking at. What are going to be their pain points? So overwhelming debt, wage garnishment, foreclosure, and then how and what are they searching for? It could be informational, so just what is chapter 13 bankruptcy or the difference between chapter 7 and chapter 13. It could be navigational, so they're looking for things near them, bankruptcy attorney near me or in my city. Or it could be transactional, where they want to go and hire a bankruptcy attorney, things like that. So this is just thinking through who are our clients, what are their pain points, how are they going to be searching. Initially, just brainstorm, jot ideas down, and this is going to get us a good start for how people will search for us. Next, the foundation of your SEO strategy. So there's two types of content we think about. One is going to be primary keywords, our money pages. These are terms where someone is wanting to work with us and we want to make sure that we're hitting those terms and with the correct pages. So that could be bankruptcy attorney near me, chapter 7 bankruptcy lawyer in whatever city. These are people who are looking for a bankruptcy attorney and they want to work with you right now. Then there's going to be longer tail keywords. These are typically going to be blog posts. They could be in within some of your location practice area pages. Long tail keyword examples: how to stop wage garnishment with bankruptcy. Do I qualify for chapter 7 bankruptcy? Longer terms, someone who's researching typically, but they're going to be helpful to build topical authority and potentially to grab a few clients off of that. Tools to discover the right keywords. So there's lots of different keyword research tools. Some commonly cited ones: Google Keyword Planner. This is a free tool. You need a Google Ads account. And then, but you don't need to be running ads. Just get a Google Ads account and they have their keyword planner. If you just type in a keyword or two that you're looking for, it'll give you then other keywords to look at. Along with Google Keyword Planner, there is Google Trends, which is also a free tool, freemium tool to check out. That'll give you some other ideas. The two kind of leading paid tools are Ahrefs and SEMrush. Those work great. They are fairly expensive, so be mindful of that. Answer the Public or also Ask, those are our freemium tools where you get a search or two a day, which in some cases is enough to get you going, or you could pay for that. And then Google Autocomplete, if you just type it into Google and see what other suggestions Google is giving you. We're going to take a look at these real quick. So right here, this is SEMrush and looking at bankruptcy attorney. So in SEMrush, that's going to give us, we have global volume, we have US volume, so being in the States. So this is saying that there's 6,600 searches a month on average for bankruptcy attorney. You got keyword difficulty here. The other area to really take a look at if you're using this would be the keyword variations and the questions, where it's going to then tell us all the different ways people are searching for bankruptcy attorney. And then, there's 19,500 keyword variations, 150,000 about search volume a month. So right here, you're going to get a lot of ideas here. The questions here, these are typically going to be longer form blogs, good video topics. So this is very helpful. And then they have their own keyword strategy where if you just type in a term and click view all, it's going to help to build out a strategy for you. So that's SEMrush. If you're looking for a free version, literally just start typing things into Google, and you can see, how is Google finishing my search here. So it's getting a lot of city related terms. If you scroll down to the bottom, you get the people also search for, you just start to take ideas, some that stick out to me: zero down bankruptcies near me, virtual bankruptcy lawyer. Those are terms that I would be adding to my list. And lastly, this is Answer the Public. There's also Asked is another a similar product here. But if you type in a term, and then it's going to give you, they're going to give you 26, in this case, 26 questions. So who is the bankruptcy attorney? Who's probably not the best one? What questions ask bankruptcy attorney? What does the bankruptcy attorney charge? If you scroll down, it's going to give you then other variations of how people are searching for terms that you may want to add to your list. Coming back now to our slideshow. Moving forward, the next thing we want to do is learn from our competition. So I start typing in your core terms and look at the top ranking competitors. So analyze the SERPs, or the search engine result pages. We have a whole video on just doing that, but that's literally type your term into Google and then look at what's coming up at the top. You can evaluate their content for gaps, things that they're not hitting that you know are important. You can literally copy them. I mean, don't plagiarize them, but if they have a blog post on a particular topic, that's something that I would consider adding to my list of keywords and potential content. So look at what topics they're covering, look at how detailed their content is. You can use, again, SEMrush, Ahrefs, some paid tools to analyze that if you have access to those. The other thing I look for, especially in the case of a bankruptcy attorney, so type in bankruptcy attorney in your city, bankruptcy attorney near me, and start to look at what pages are coming up. And so in this case, if I just search bankruptcy attorney, like I'm getting a county page. This is Gwinnett, the county that we're in. It's county here too. This is a city. This is a bigger city and also state there. So those are just things I'm mindful of. Do we want a city page? Do we want a county page? Do we want a state page? In this case, it's kind of, you get all three, and so you could probably go either way there. Sometimes they'll all be city pages as an example. And if that's the case, then we know, hey, we need a city page for this. Now you have at least an initial list. This is not a set in stone. This will continue to grow, but focus on the most valuable keywords. Things to consider. Relevance. Does it match what your audience is looking for? Obviously, if it doesn't, that probably isn't something that we want to spend time on. Search volume and keyword difficulty. So how often is it being searched? Obviously, the more something is searched, usually the better, but that also means it's probably going to be have more competition, and so you're going to just balance between search volume and keyword difficulty. I typically don't lose a lot of sleep over these. If I'm trying to decide between one or the other, then I'll have these come into play. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to want all of the different terms, and so then you got to build them all out. And then commercial intent, so keywords that lead to action. This is going to be a lot of times for a bankruptcy attorney, your more locationally specific practice area pages. Longer form blogs, those are going to be helpful, can be helpful, but those usually aren't going to lead to a sale, at least not directly. That's going to be people researching things. They could end up on your site, but then they have to be like close enough to you or within your state typically to be able to work with you. So that blog could show up nationally or even internationally. So things to be just mindful of and keep in mind as you're putting this all together. So now you have your keywords. You want to create a clear keyword plan, and then you want to break them down. I typically do it in 3 areas. Your practice area pages, so that's going to be Chapter 7 bankruptcy lawyer, that's going to be Chapter 11 bankruptcy lawyer, Chapter 13 bankruptcy lawyer, wage garnishment attorney, things like that, the kind of the core practice areas that you would hit. Then you'll have your blog posts. These are going to be informational keywords, questions, longer form keywords typically, how to prepare for bankruptcy court as an example. And then your local SEO keywords, these are going to be locationally based practice area pages typically. So bankruptcy lawyer, Atlanta, bankruptcy lawyer, Buckhead. And normally what we'll do is take 10 to 20 cities as we get started. We'll have any city that we have an office in, we for sure are hitting. And then we're normally looking at what are the cities that are surrounding that office that could make practical sense to target. And we will build out locationally based practice area pages for all of those cities. We do it in a spreadsheet, or at least lay out the strategy in a spreadsheet. You can obviously use Trello or other tools to help organize that. As you're creating your keyword plan, you're going to want to think about how it's all structured together. We've typically follow a pattern similar to this. There are different ways you can do it, but in general, we'll have a city page. So maybe we have our bankruptcy attorney Atlanta page, and then within underneath that we'll have different practice areas. So it might be chapter 7, chapter 11, chapter 13 as examples. And then we'll have blog posts that relate to those practice area pages, and some blog posts that might relate directly to the city page. But that creates good content clusters for us. And then these blogs are all linking to this practice area page. This practice area page is linking to our city page, and so forth. Sometimes people will flip this to where they have their main practice area page and they have city specific pages underneath that. There's not necessarily a right or wrong way. I would just stay consistent with whichever you decide to do. Bankruptcy attorney cheat sheet. If you're interested, we have put together a whole cheat sheet of common bankruptcy attorney terms that if you are a bankruptcy lawyer, you probably want to be targeting. If you are interested in that cheat sheet, leave a comment in the under this video, and I will get that to you. Lastly, put your keywords to work. So you want to map your keywords to specific pages and blogs. That's what we should have been doing in that last section there. As you have your content strategy, then you're going to create the content, and you want to optimize the content naturally with primary and secondary keywords. Example of that, bankruptcy attorney versus bankruptcy lawyer. I typically will just layer those in fairly evenly throughout my content. And then you want to monitor performance with tools like Google Search Console. We'll create another video specifically on on-page optimization and monitoring how the page is performing later, but those are things to be keeping in mind. Now, lastly, so take action today. Understand your audience. Find and prioritize the right keywords, analyze competitors to see what they're doing, and if you find any content gaps, fill those in. And then you want to build and optimize your keyword strategy. So I hope that was helpful. This was a getting started, some guide rails if you're doing keyword research specifically for bankruptcy lawyers. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. This is the start of our SEO for bankruptcy lawyers series. So be on the lookout for more videos there. You can find the whole series at sambretzman.com. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day.